Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And I am Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central and welcome to Volskaya Industries located just outside St. Petersburg in Russia. In these videos we go over a couple of guidelines that we think will help you win a lot more games on certain maps. These include breaking the map down into certain areas for both attack and defense, going over what we think is important to add, and then talking about which heroes suit these points best. We've only recently just started doing this series, so we are very much open to your ideas. We've already implemented a couple from the last episode, so if you do spot something that you don't necessarily agree with, or you would like us to talk more about, then do let us know in the comments, and we may add it to the next video. But for now, let's get straight into it, talking about the area and surrounding of Volskaya.
Volskaya Industries is a point capture map. As attackers, you need to capture point A and then follow it up by capturing point B to win. The defender's job is to not let this happen. The first point is located by the Volskaya Industry docks. This area provides many indoor flanks and vantage points for flankers and snipers to use. When the point is captured, an additional 5 minutes are added on top of the initial 5. The vantage points on Volskaya Industries should always be used. Defensive heroes can be placed up high and get a good view of the choke point and capture point. Just make sure that you can control the flanks. Turrets are very common on Volskaya Industries and can work with the right lineup. Bastion or Torbjorn can set up in the following spots for great area coverage. Avoid setting up too close to each other though, as that means a Tracer could possibly take you both out with a pulse bomb. Make sure the teleporter isn't near a turret either for that reason. The buildings on Volskaya Industries will help you flank around without being noticed. Tracer and Genji can both move around the outer flank by the water with ease, and even Junkrat and D.Va can help out if needed. On the other side of the map, we have a walkway that can take you from the first building on the right over to the other one behind the point when attacking. However, this does require you to break or rush through the choke point first. After point A has been captured, we move on to point B. The factory is a tight indoor space with an upper and lower floor in most areas, making it great for close quarter heroes. Just walking up to the point via the main entrance is rarely recommended if you're not trying to rush the point as attackers before the defending team have set up properly. Use the flanks and coordinate your ultimates. The vantage points on here can't really be utilized as efficiently as the ones by point A. You can still try to set up a sniper in the back up high, but it's very easy to get jumped, so stay alert. Torbjorn and Bastion are played a fair bit here. We see people setting up on the moving platforms sometimes. It looks pretty funny, but it's rarely effective. Instead, we'd recommend setting up closer to the back so you have your team nearby to assist you. Flanking on this point is easier than on point A. When attacking, you're given 3 main entranceways, from all of which you can get to the point in different ways. For the attacker's right side flank, you need a hero that can close the gap though. But make sure to coordinate with the rest of your team before you flank. The entire defending team will be close to the point and can very easily move around and help each other out to eliminate you quickly if they're not distracted.
When it comes to attacking the first point in a capture point map, we definitely recommend Lucio as one of the supports, and Volskaya is of course no different. The speed boost is great for rushing in, especially if you have a flanker that has drawn the enemy team back a little bit. We're also going to go with the second support, even though it's not always needed. But Mercy could do a great job since she's able to move around very quickly with the speed boost and Guardian Angel, making her a strong pick after you've broken through the first choke. Zenyatta also works well here, but will demand a lot from the player due to the very concentrated damage at the first choke point, along with positioning yourself well around any exposed points. You don't want to stick around the first choke for very long, so we're going to go with a fairly aggressive tank, and that being Zarya. She's a great pickup, and if you manage to grab some charge just before you get to the point, you will have a lot of damage at your disposal when capturing. We're also going to pick up a D.Va since she can use the outer flank we mentioned earlier, which helps pull in the enemy team back if needed. Sometimes you'll even be able to keep D.Va throughout the whole game, which means you'll probably have your ult ready for point B. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. These two tanks are the ones that we recommend, but swapping out for a Winston also works. If you're playing a slower game and lineup, you can even get away with just having a solo tank Reinhardt on a rare occasion. But we think D.Va and Winston are good for their ability to chase down any snipers or backline support or defense heroes that may be causing trouble. For damage, we're going to need to be heavy and versatile with this map, and Farah is fantastic for just flying over the walkway at the start. If you know where the turrets are, you'll be able to take them out quite quickly as well, and from a distance, so it's quite safe. Combo this with a Tracer to make sure that there's no defense heroes getting comfortable in the back, and she can also look out for Symmetra turrets if there are any. Tracer can also get around the outer flank with ease, which makes her a strong pick on this map as well.
After capturing the first point, you want to review your team a little. Have a look at which heroes struggled and change accordingly. If you had troubles getting enemy tanks killed, pick up a Zenyatta for the increased damage. Lucio should be fine most of the time and is also worth keeping for the speed boost so you can get back to the objective faster. The ult is also great for aggressive pushes. Like we mentioned earlier, if your tanks haven't died, there's no reason to change. But for educational purposes, we're gonna assume that the Zarya was struggling and your team needs something to hide behind. Nobody does that better than our tanky German friend Reinhardt, so we're gonna pick him up for the shield mainly. Keep the D.Va since the ultimate is very strong for this last section. D.Va will also be able to bully any sniper in the back and quickly get to people positioned up high. Similar to your tanks, you want to review your success and swap your damage dealers out accordingly. Most of the time you want to stick with the Pharah though, since she's a great turret killer and can easily navigate the factory. Tracer might be tricky though, due to her limitations in terms of effective range, so don't hesitate if you're thinking of picking up a Genji instead. Harassing the enemy at long range will often be very useful.
When it comes to defending the docks, your first support should be Symmetra. It's quite a distance to run from spawn, and picking up a teleporter should be quite easy for Symmetra if she just spams a few charged up orbs right at the start of the game and manages to get a couple of kills with her turrets. With a teleporter thrown down and an extra bit of health on everyone, you need someone to keep the team topped up. Mercy can Guardian Angel between the rooftops and hide indoors if needed. It's the Mercy and Symmetra's job to have at least one ultimate ready for when the attacker's first strong push comes through. The next up is the tank, and I say tank instead of tanks because we actually end up playing with just one tank most of the time when defending the first point in this map. And it tends to be Reinhardt or Roadhog on their own because they tend to do pretty good. And together with a mix of 3 attack defense heroes on your team, you should be able to form a strong front line. For the damage dealers, we find ourselves running Torbjorn a lot since he's a fun hero to play on this map and can do pretty well in public matches as it takes a lot of coordination to take the turret out. Here are the turret placements again real quick. As you can see, they're a bit further back, so you want some heroes that can stay closer to the choke point. Our next pick would probably be a Pharah or a Junkrat. For this time I'm going to go with a Junkrat for point A. Generally you don't need both a Pharah and a Junkrat, so picking one is the way to go. So long as you have a hero that can do a lot of damage, you should be fine. Our final hero would be a long ranged hero. 76 or Widowmaker are preferred here, but we're going to go with Soldier to make sure that our front line is strong enough and he can jump and contest on the point if needs be.
If you fail to hold the first point, you should consider swapping out your Symmetra. The teleporter won't be nearly as effective anymore, so picking up a Zenyatta for the increased damage and a bit of counter ult for the enemy's coordinated pushes can be handy. Mercy can stay since the Resurrect is fairly easy to charge, and even if you die you can use the little room with the health pack in it to reach the dead heroes on the point for a clutch Resurrect. For the second point, we also want more protection in the middle section, so we're gonna get a Reinhardt. Together with a more mobile tank like D.Va, it should be fairly safe. D.Va can fly around and assist on the flanks, as well as use her ultimate for a panic point clear. She's also great for contesting the point due to her large health pool, so you always have a bit of a backup. Since we got a second tank, we need to sack one of the damage dealers. We're gonna swap out the Torbjorn for McCree since we need to have an anti-flanker. Together with a Pharah instead of the Junkrat, you should be settled for range and damage output. Pharah will also be able to harass enemy flankers if needed.
And that's everything we would like to go over in this guide. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you feel like we've left something out or haven't gone over anything in enough detail, then do let us know in the comments. Be sure to check out the guide going out on Friday. And until next time, take care and we will see you then.